While in the relaxing state of hypnosis, we experience something referred to as trance phenomena. Yes, phenomena we can allow both our physical body and our minds to experience many miraculous things while in trance. And I'm not sure if you're aware of these changes or not, but a lot of people can experience something called time distortion. Kind of like when you realize you're suddenly to your destination but don't recall the drive. Most people can recall a moment where they're so engrossed in their activity that they enter what some would call a flow state. You should remember a time where perhaps you were reading a book, watching a movie, or even creating something. Your awareness so embedded in this activity, you seem to lose track of time in this state of hyper-focus. And soon you will understand maybe it will happen now or later. Perhaps you will think you aren't understanding at all, but this is your sign that you're learning at a deep level. This state of hyper-focus. And if you haven't already, feel free to close your eyes for a minute and take in a breath, however it comes most naturally to you, letting yourself relax with each breath, doubling the thought of relaxation with each breath. Maybe notice that your heart rate is becoming smooth and rhythmic. And notice how easy it is to enter this state of deep relaxation. You can even unclench your jaw if you want and think to soften your shoulders. You might find it comforting to let your hands just become very warm and heavy and relaxed. And think or visualize or perhaps even imagine a clock or maybe even a watch. Imagine that both of the clock's hands are at 12 o'clock. Imagine seeing that clock and realizing that it is no longer important what the numbers on the clock say. In fact, the hands of the clock could just point to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 12 o'clock. Imagine seeing that clock and realizing that it's no longer important what the numbers on the clock say. In fact, the hands of the clock could point to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 12. It wouldn't make any difference to you. Because as you continue to relax, you are allowed to let go of the meaning of time and let your clock move from 12 o'clock to 7 o'clock, from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock, but you'll see 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock and from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Imagine that the hands of the clock not only go clockwise, but can even go counterclockwise, no longer concerned about day or night. Simply bring yourself to this place and this time right here and right now, so embedded in the now. What's really important, as you know, is your mind's ability to recall the sound of a clock or perhaps even a metronome. Maybe under your eyelids, moving your eyes to the right. Maybe you could assign this sound tick, and naturally when you move your eyes to the left, like you would just now, one could presume this direction was talk. Just like a clock or perhaps even a metronome. Tick to the right, talk to the left. Your eyes shifting with each tick and with each and every talk to the left. Your eyes shifting will help you enter the state of trance quickly, calmly, and deeply, so your physical body may experience relaxation. A gentle tick and talk, maybe even echoing a bit, with each tick moving your eyes to talk, bringing you deeper into relaxation. And if I could ask, while you keep hearing ticks and talks, if you could visualize or imagine the most beautiful place you can, while my voice can follow your awareness here, I too can only imagine how beautiful this place is. This place is so picturesque and peaceful. You almost could say it would be like a small slice of your heaven, maybe a small space of nirvana. This is one of the most, if not the most serene scene you have ever seen. With your two physical eyes and your mind's eye, this place is almost unfathomable. And I would like you to appreciate the fact that you did in fact create this, maybe not in the 3D, maybe not on paper, maybe not on a screen, but using something even more powerful, even better. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution, said Einstein. And remember, this is your world, and in it you can create anything you desire. And if you have not already, please feel welcome to enter your scene, and my voice will follow, making sure you get all the information you need, reminding you of all the things you asked me to tell you, just in case you forgot along the way. But give yourself the opportunity to let your mind wander this beautiful place. And it's okay if you see yourself walking around, enjoying your creation. And it's okay if you're just here observing with my voice. Whatever you experience is right for you, and your subconscious mind will understand. Because after all, the subconscious mind is very uncomfortable with the unknown, like many of us are. But that's just all right, because this is not unknown to you or your subconscious. In fact, you'll come to find this place rather familiar. You may be pleased to realize it has a familiar scent, or maybe even familiar sounds. However, this place you've created must give you some familiar sense of relaxation and inner knowing that this place is okay and that it is safe and that it was made just by you, for you, just the way you like. And when you find yourself beginning to recall just how deeply relaxed your physical body and inner mind become in this intentional state of hypnosis, it will appear that every time you try to resist these positive, reassuring suggestions I give you, the harder it is to deny them, because you have this inner knowing. Here in this place, that everything is just all right, that you're focusing on becoming more than acquiring, focusing on becoming more deeply relaxed rather than acquiring. Because what is there to acquire? You already are deeply relaxed. In fact, so deeply relaxed, every time I remind you of something, you can become even more deeply relaxed, because you'll find it comforting to know. These reminders bring peace to your body and mind. Becoming aware that all your thoughts exist because you allow them to. Every time You pause to go within. You draw closer to who you really know you are. And each and every day, you realize more and more that you're beginning to understand yourself even better than you did before. You are a fully conscious participant in life, and you allow yourself to be present in all things that you do. You are in charge of the quality of your life. You are in charge of just how deeply relaxed you are for each and every time I simply suggest deep sleep for the purpose of hypnosis, and with your permission, you get to this state quickly, calmly, and deeply so that your physical body responds with relaxation. And while my voice and your awareness meet in this beautiful scene you have created with your mind, relishing in this serene state of bliss, I wanted to let you know where we really are, where you really have taken us. And you may find it comforting to know this is the center of your personal power. Yes. Magnificent, isn't it? Do notice how I referred to this as the center. Because your personal power, friend, is expansive. This is merely the center. This is where your drive is generated. One could, if they wanted, to pretend or imagine that this is where your self-worth lives. This is where all your feelings, impulses, and instincts come from right in your center. And you may now find yourself so centered in your center. Could you visualize or imagine? I think you can do both. Yourself. And we can refer to this personification as your self-worth. After all, this is where your self-worth lives, isn't it? It must look like you, right? And if this is the most serene scene you have ever had the pleasure of seeing, if this place is what you could consider a small slice of heaven, this must be such a radiant worth of self. Am I correct? But if I am not, or even imagining that I am not correct, and that your personification of your self-worth does not match its miraculous environment. Perhaps you could ask yourself why. And noticing any emotions you may feel. Or maybe even noticing any emotions you would assign to your image of self-worth. But you just can't help but to remember this magnificent home your self-worth is blessed to live in. Right in the center safely and securely attached. So, as most may agree, it's only natural that your self-worth must reflect its environment, just as anything else does in nature. Just one big reflection. And just taking a moment to admire your creation. Your center, your self-worth, as you may observe, your self-worth chooses to be human, not perfect, and now that we have met with your self-worth and observed it, living in its beautiful center, peacefully, so embedded in peace in the center. I wonder if you could allow yourself to start to notice the beginning of a peaceful sensation that these peaceful thoughts bring you. Begin to radiate in the center of your physical body, right in the center of your core, right in the center of your abdomen, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. Letting go. So grateful to be able to just let it all go. Releasing, relaxing, and letting go. your peaceful sensation swirling to the left or perhaps even to the right. Maybe one could imagine it sort of like a whirlpool. A whirlpool of this peaceful sensation. Swirling to the left, or perhaps even to the right. Clearing any doubt in yourself, your abilities, your talents, your drive, or your worth. And I wonder if you could imagine this whirlpool, a brilliant yellow, a vibrant yellow, peaceful sensation that only you could describe to me. Replacing any doubt in yourself, as there's no more room. It's made room for confidence in your ability, confidence in your talents, a strong sense of self-worth. You may experience that your ability to trust your gut instinct has magnified at least tenfold. You're beginning to understand, aren't you, that the whole world is inside of you, in your perspectives and in your heart, that to be able to find peace with yourself first and to truly enjoy life, you must enjoy who you are. Once you learn how to master this, you will be protected from everything that makes you feel like you cannot go on. That with this gift of recognizing yourself, even when you are alone, you will never be lonely. There is no other person on this planet just like you. And I am so grateful. There never has been, and there never will be, even if you travel to the farthest end of the universe, you may, by some miracle of nature, find another who looked just like you. That person would not be you, however, for that person would not have had the experiences that have helped to shape you and make you the person that you are today. And I'm referring not only to the triumphs that have uplifted you, but also to the challenges that by your overcoming have made you more you. Challenges like those you are in the midst of overcoming now. This is what sets you apart and makes you unique, like no other life that has or ever will exist. Every life that you affect is affected like no other, continually influencing the human experience, because you're an individual, a unique gift of life. So at 0, your awareness making its way back to your physical body. 1, wiggling your fingers and toes, so that at 2, positioning yourself to open your eyes. And 3, eyes starting to flutter enough so that at 4, your eyes are beginning to open, and at 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, no longer in a suggestible state. I'm thankful for the time we shared today. The next time we cross paths, I think you'll find it very helpful to explore and express gratitude, and to perhaps even look at the subject of forgiveness from a different perspective. As always, I genuinely enjoyed our conversation, and I look forward to the next time you invite me on your journey.